This is a new content breakthrough that produces thousands of articles. And by the way, they're so amazing that our AI detection actually thinks they're real. So this is something I've been working towards, and something that we've been working, hopefully trying to get for the past few years, where we want to get as much good content as possible on demand. And this is kind of like my breakthrough. This is where we were able to get that barrier where I felt comfortable kind of showing this off. So let me dive into what I mean and what I'm talking about. Well, in SEO, content is pretty much everything. I use content for everything, and everyone's here. I'm assuming you're probably advanced. You have a website. You're probably an SEO expert. Or you maybe have a marketing agency, and daily blog posts on customer sites or your own website takes like an article a day. Whenever you're doing guest posts, if you're doing hundreds of guest posts, then every single guest post is an article, and you're linking to a target page, which is another piece of content. When you are building supporting content, and these days I build a lot of supporting content, because one of the things I've noticed in 2019, 2020, 2021 in Google, and even 22 in Google, so the past like 3-4 years in Google, they've been shifting more towards topical authority websites. So websites that have that are focused on a specific and kind of like subject. So if you have a dog site, you're going to rank for a whole bunch of things that are dog related. And if you have a fishing website, you'll rank for a whole bunch of stuff that's fishing related. And that's why it's very important to have topically aligned content and to have what Google says are topical authority. So this is why I'm publishing a lot of supporting content, which links to, let's say, my main content. And just to kind of give a bit of value, I want to share my own personal ranking strategy. This has been my tried and true personal ranking strategy for almost the past decade, and it continues to work really well. Now, this is not a how to rank on Google thing, not at all. I'm just sharing my personal ranking strategy. And the way I do it, essentially, I have my target page, which will be my money page. And then I keep it very simple. I'll have a supporting content, three pieces of supporting content at least. This will be related to the target page, and I give them internal links. So these green things are internal links. And then I will build links to those supporting content. So guest post, or maybe the supporting content is going to be link bait itself. It just naturally attracts links. And this is how I will rank all my pages. I've been doing this when I was doing affiliate. I actually ranked for best drones and drone reviews exactly like this. This is the exact template that I use. And as you notice, every single piece here is a piece of content. So by the way, this is not... Your results may vary if you replicate this. I'm not saying this is going to work for you. You're responsible for your own site. I don't know. Everyone has their own ranking strategy, but this has been what the easy, tried, tested, and true. So the way I do my target page, and since I just want to kind of go over like a 30-second thing, the way I do my target page is really simple. I'm actually going to go into on page and I'll show you. Is I type in whatever keyword I want here. So, oh, by the way, onpage.ai, it's a tool I'm going to be featuring. It's my tool. I type in whatever I want to rank here. So I'll type in SEO checklist. And then here I put in my compare URL. So SEO checklist, let's go here. There you go. So I do SEO checklist and SEO. I put my compare URL, what I want to rank. And then this will tell me exactly how I want to optimize my, my page. There you go. So my target page. This goes and it looks at all the competitors. It looks at the search engine landscape. It uses Google NLP to return suggestions on like, hey, this is how you want to optimize your page. These are words you want to add. And it'll tell you the relevance compared to the competitors. So here we can see that my page is not as relevant as the top competitors. So there's a lot of work to be done if I wanted to rank this page for the word SEO checklist. So here, this has been tried, tested, and true. And Dan is on the call. And Dan used this method essentially to rank the #1 site in the latest SEO competition. So this stuff works. And we have, an amazing community using this to rank as high as possible on Google each and every day. And by the way, once again, it doesn't mean that you just because Dan did it doesn't mean that everyone's going to just magically rank #1. Always want to make sure that I'm making this clear that this just helps you build relevance for your term. And this is how I structure my pages. And it'll even tell you, by the way, I scroll all the way down. It'll even suggest the internal links. So let me go back to the diagram. Really simple. If you want like a crash course in 30 seconds, is you get your target page optimized. It even tells you the supporting content right around here. So at the bottom, I have like the supporting content that I want to interlink. And then it's like the guest post, right? You get a whole bunch of guest posts, or you build links any way you want. It could be link bait and so forth. And for that, we have another thing in not traffic green and on page, where we have predictive link building. So predictive link building right here is something we've developed. And this is like, I'm going to go over this quickly, where you could have a whole bunch of domains and you could determine the relevance of those domains and to see how relevant they are to your main page. So you could build yourself some better guest posts or some better links. So here, if I was looking for stuff in home and garden, it tells me all the pages or the domains that are related to home and garden. It'll highlight them. And then that's why I could get like aligned guest posts. I could get aligned guest posts that line up with my supporting content, which line up with my target page. And then this is kind of like the ultimate. So we've gone over my super quick, like my personal quick ranking formula. But this is not what we're talking about today. In fact, not even close. What we're really talking about is just doing this. If you have an agency and you need to rank customers, or you have a website, you want to rank 10 target pages, well, that means that you need, or that you might want to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different pages to basically rank that one main page. And that's why people say content is king. In SEO, SEOs use articles for everything from supporting content to blog posts to link building. It's the foundation of SEO. SEO content is almost like an SEO currency. So that's why today I'm going to show you how I have been creating thousands of articles that you can use to scale your business. And we're going to be talking about why we produce content that bypasses AI detection and why it's so important. I'm going to share a research paper from Google, and I'm going to show you how you can use this technology today to grow your business. So hope you're excited. Let's just jump right into it. I'm just going to check chat just 1 second to make sure we're all on board. All right, cool. There you go. Okay, so everything's good. Now, here's why AI detection is important and why we are very aware of it, and I'm paying attention to it. And here's what Google said, basically. So Google published a research paper, and if you want, you could go and check out the research paper yourself. It's right here, the link. And inside the Google research paper, they're talking about detecting the presence of low quality pages. And to do so, they're running a test, and they ran, I think it's around 500 million pages. And they were using 2 state-of-the-art methods for detecting machine-generated text, AI content. They're using OpenAI's Roberta-based detector and GLTR. Now, when I read that, I almost fell off my chair. So I thought this was hilarious, because the OpenAI Roberta-based detector is exactly what we are using. So it's very similar. Actually, well, I don't know exactly, but it's very similar, if not the exact same, that we're using in OnPage. So here, if you've ever used OnPage inside the content editor, or even have a module, you have AI detection. So right here, you could put in any text, and you could click on Detect AI, and it'll tell you, hey, how real or fake is it? And in this case, it's 99% real. And we are using the Roberta-based AI detector. So essentially, in my mind, we're using a very, very similar, if not the same, one that Google was using inside their research paper. So, and we include this inside OnPage at no extra cost. So if anyone has access, this is, in my opinion, as close as possible to replicate how Google was looking in this research paper. Now, I want to make it very clear. I don't know how Google is functioning internally. Maybe since this research paper came out, they've been doing something different internally. I have no control over that. I'm not looking into that. But all we know is the research paper that was recently published, this is what they were using inside that research. So that's why it's really interesting, because they're saying they're looking for low quality pages, and they're using this Roberta detector, which leads me to assume, and hopefully you agree, that if we could pass the detection and we could basically come out as real, which is our big objective, then we just stand a better chance of being safer and it just passing the detection, right? So this, when I read this, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Because I always assume that Google's doing crazy things and, it's all mysterious. But here's a research paper saying, hey, they're using the exact same thing that we've implemented. So this is why, and this is why I was so excited that we developed a breakthrough system that produces high quality articles that passes our AI detection, just as if a human had spent countless of hours researching, writing, and proofreading. They will return as real. So that's why I don't know. To me, this was kind of crazy, and I've been checking it as much as possible with detectors and so forth. And I want to make sure that I emphasize the fact it's our AI detection. So we're using the Roberta-based detector. It passes our detector. I don't know what Google's going to do in like 50 years or 20 years or whatnot. And I don't know what, so, but in our test, it is passing real. And in fact, we've developed this so that if it does not pass real, it does not return the article, right? It will refuse to return the article if it's not real. So let me show you. Now it's the fun time. Let's dive into live demo time. And this is where it gets crazy. So inside on page, we have the new module. Let me go clear right here. We have Stealth AI Writer. So Stealth AI Writer is what we've been secretly working on for almost a year. And here, what you could do is you can put in a whole bunch of keywords or a whole bunch of things that you want to write about, and it'll just create articles for you. So if I want, I could just start typing SEO checklist. I could be like on page SEO. I could be like how to rank on Google. And you could start putting a list and building a list. Whoops. And you could start building a list that is like a huge list. In fact, you could go up to 100 keywords at a time and get yourself 100 articles at a time. So let me show you an example and let me show you how it works. In fact, when you do this, we go through a huge process. So it takes between like a minute and 15 minutes per article, because what we do is we research. Let me actually show you what it looks like. So this is essentially what it looks like when you have 4 articles. We do is we'll go and we first figure out the search intent of the words. That's going to be super important. We figure out what the user wants to find on Google when they are searching for this. And actually, let me just show you the articles. This is what happens when you put in the keyword. This is going to be the article that is spit out right here. So this article right here, it's a big article. It's 3,663 words, and is going to be the article that came from this. And what you could do at any time, you could click on Detect AI right here, and you could check it, and this should pass AI. So 99% real, it'll pass our AI detection. So that's really cool. And what it does is as an SEO, my main concern has been crafting content that that people want to find. I want to provide useful content on the internet. So this content has been crafted to be helpful and engage their user and also pass AI detection, which is actually, I laugh, but that's more than I've been getting from many freelance writers in the past. So here, the first thing we do whenever you put in a word is we determine what the search intent of the user is going to be. So online advertising, they're looking for online advertising, probably methods or strategies. So here is the title: Unlock Your Brand's Potential for Online Advertising Strategies. And it dives into the article. Then after that, it'll give you a quick answer, like what can you do as quickly as possible. It tries to answer the query that you have here, and then it'll dive in to and give you a really like comprehensive, good overview of the article. Like these articles, in my opinion, are some among the best that I've ever seen in terms of generated content. Now, by the way, I want to make this clear. I'm not trying to knock real writers down. I think this is going to disrupt real writing because it is so good. However, this is still it's still like a generated article. But to generate it, I don't think, we've gone through many lengths where what we do is we're not just asking, we're not just spitting out like a quick AI article. We're first looking at the search landscape. We're determining what the search intent is of the article. Then we go look at what's ranking. We go look at the search intent. We look at the search landscape. Then we craft a whole bunch of content, and we don't use most of the content. In fact, this is refined down content. So you're only left with the cream of the crop, and this ends up being the article. In fact, if you look at the outline over here for outline advertising, you'll see that this outline covers the subject. So in my experience, when I've posted this, because I've been running a few tests in the background, when I post this, these pages are actually getting a decent amount of engagement. So my users or the visitors that come to my pages, at least the ones that I've tested, your results may vary, but the pages that I've posted, people have actually been reading this stuff and kind of consuming it. And that is my objective. If ever I'm going to put something out there, I want to make sure it is good, it is helpful, and it is, you know, at least it passes Google, or not Google, but it passes our own internal AI detections. I don't know about any other search engines or all that. I can't make any I can't say what they're doing or anything like that, but ours, at least, it passes. Now, here, if you look at this table of content, which is really cool, where you could say, like, advertising, it breaks it down. It's not just repeating the same subheadlines, right? So if ever you've used auto-generated text, because people have been trying to do this for a long time, one of the big pitfalls is the outlines tend to be complete crap. Put bluntly, usually they're going to just repeat the same thing over and over again. They'll be like, okay, what it is, what does it do, and so forth. You're going to get a crappy outline. Instead, what I've done is I've spent months actually working on this to develop and make sure that the outline is relevant and it seems like human written, like an outline. If I was personally putting an outline together, this is essentially what you're getting, because it has my touch on there. This is outline that is based on my outlines. This uses, you're going to get relevant words inside your outline in your subheadlines. You're going to get stuff that is not too optimized, but just optimized enough, like kind of a perfect mix. Let me show you another one, just kind of to dive in here. So we're going to talk content marketing. So what is it? How does content marketing work? Types of content: blogs, videos, social media posts, setting up your ideal content marketing strategy, identifying your audience, developing your campaigns, and then it dives into optimization. If I'm talking about social media, this is a social media marketing article. We're talking about what is it, how to create an effective strategy, developing a profile, how to reach your audience, working with influencers. Hopefully, I don't know, at least it blows my mind on how good this is. And it's not your typical just content, which is why I think I've been getting I've been getting really good results personally. And I'm really look forward to seeing what other people will do. So oh yeah, by the way, I don't even have time to mention this. This is probably one of the coolest things is if you decide to you don't like a certain section, you could edit a certain section. So let me go here, display ads. Let's say I don't want it. Is it online advertising, display ads? And instead of display ads, you could click on it. It'll go to any place that you want. I'll click on display ads. And let's say here, I'm like, okay, talk about AdWords. I don't want it to be display ads. I want AdWords. So you click here, and in real time, it is going to go take this paragraph out, and it is going to look at the paragraph at the before it, look at a paragraph after it, and it is going to plug in a new and write a new paragraph for you that fits into this article, taking everything into consideration. So here we're talking about online advertising, and it just said, hey, Google AdWords is an online advertising tool to help promote businesses. It does this. You could get, here's how you could set up strategies and content with it. And this is essentially, I don't know, it blows my mind. It even ties in at the end. Looks at overall, AdWords provides ease of use, efficiency, and cost control. Moving forward, it's going to explore strategies and techniques for running successful campaigns. And here it dives into strategies and techniques for successful campaigns. So at the bottom here, it even ties in the next paragraph. How crazy is that? So hopefully you can see the power of this and why I believe is going to be disruptive, because now you can get yourself, look, this is like a 3,000, I just modified it. We just modified it by changing this thing, but 3,700 words, 4,730 words, and 3,900 words. So they're about like 3,800 on average. Here's a bit longer. Yeah, so these articles, let me show you just one more thing. Actually, I'll show you how it looks when it's crazy. And I've been trying, I know I'm talking a million miles a minute, but I'm so excited about this. I've been doing local terms where I'm like, okay, cool. Let's take a look at, how it turns out for this. I've been doing, oh, this is really cool. Let me show you how it looks when you have a lot of stuff. All right. So when I have, what is it, like almost 100 articles right here. So 100 articles, I was like, let me just go and put in a whole bunch of keywords, right? Like a ton. And then you could see right here, let me scroll down. You could see all the articles that have been produced. This previously would have taken me probably hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not even kidding. And months and months to produce. This is a team of writers that is writing nonstop for, yeah, I don't know how long. And this is now I could get it within minutes, I guess, but not minutes, maybe an hour to get this much content, maybe a bit less. But this is, hopefully people are seeing the craziness out of this. And I made sure it was really easy to use once you have it. So let me go over how, like, let's say you have all this, and you could just, obviously you could click download all, right? So I could click download all here. It is going to prepare. It's going to give me a zip file. I'll open a zip file. You're going to see how crazy it looks when it's on my computer. So here I have a zip file, stealth articles. I could open up this folder, and now I have a folder. Oh my God. So I have a folder all full of SEO articles that are all, they're all unique. They all pass AI detection. They're all like large, comprehensive articles that, that I like reading. I think if there's a blind test and we're comparing different types of articles, these turned out to be really good. And what you could obviously do, or what not do, but like I always recommend people might want to modify them. They might want to improve them. You definitely want to fact check them. You definitely want to kind of go over them. This is a great starting point. I don't want to get too excited. I don't want to paint a picture that like, hey, this is the last thing you're ever going to do. But just let me show you how I've been, whoops, not this. Let me move this around. I will show you, I've been formatting them, and we made sure it was quick and easy. So this is WordPress, and in the visual or just add, I could literally copy paste the article in, and it'll copy paste. And I made sure that the formatting is all perfect when you copy paste it. So you get the proper H1, you get proper H3s, H2. So everything is very clean if you're copy pasting something in. So the other way, and this is really like, this is the way I've been sharing and using things, is I've been using the share link with my team. So with any article here, you could click on the share link right down here, and it'll give you a unique link that your editors or writers or your team could just come in and get the article. So they don't even need to log into your account. You just give them the share link. Give them the share link for this, give them the share link for this one, give them the share link for this one. I've just been creating a whole bunch of articles. I've been giving them the share links, and then just say, hey, go post this, go edit this, go make sure this is good, proofread it. And I've been giving them the share link. And of course, you could download individual articles and so forth, or you can even copy the HTML. And then, yeah, I don't know. It's been absolutely kind of a game changer for me. Because if I just go back to that strategy, and I'm just going to you could do AI detection of all of them. And if I go back to this, kind of like my strategy here, where every single time I want to rank or do any target pages, I need 10 pieces of content, right? So 10 pieces of content, if I want to get 10 pages up using my approach, and your approach will vary and so forth. And doesn't mean that you're absolutely going to go and rank and all that. I just want to make that clear. But if you're replicating something similar, then you need a lot of content. Like if I want to get 10 articles on my website and I'm doing this, I need 100 articles. And previously 100 articles would cost me thousands and thousands of dollars. And now, and also take a long time to do. And now I'm just getting it. So I think this is going to be super disruptive. I have so much more cool stuff I want to share with you, but I'm just going to check chat just to make sure we don't have any crazy questions coming in and I'm not missing anything. Jason says, oh, that's cool. All right. Wow. All right. This is, okay, cool. So, all right. Wow. Okay. So we're gonna have to go in to the questions section. I'm going to go into questions here. Okay, cool. So Paul asks, let me answer that. Paul asks, would the strategy also work for local pages? Well, I don't want to necessarily discuss specific strategies. However, what I have been doing is I've been testing a whole bunch of local keywords, and the articles are good, in my opinion. Paul asks, is there going to be a replay? If it depends, probably, hopefully. Can we add the AI detector onto the editor, please? Yes, it's already in the editor. Let me show you guys. Let me show that just right now. So let me show you the AI. Some people just don't know that's also in the editor. So if I take this, I'll go, you could take any term, you click send to editor. Inside the editor right here, you could click on detect AI right around here. And if you click on detect AI, it will go, and it tells you this is 89% real. So this content passes the AI detection check. And of course, you could go in, you could optimize for the term. Let me show you how it looks. Let me actually go and load something else up. Let me load this one because we have it already set. If I send this to the editor, you could just go and you could search and you could optimize it further. So here, this is in the editor, and we could go and we could just do the AI detection I just did. We have the real-time scoring. You could start, and you should probably go in and keep on improving or working on the article. This is all integrated. So these are the recommended words. You could also have the research or the swipe or the brief. You could just request this. You click submit here, and that's essentially the yeah. I mean, that's the we already have built-in AI detection into the editor. So let me keep on going with the questions really quickly just to catch up. So this should be good. What is this an example of article we just ran or ran just now or a pre-ran call? Okay, cool. So that's a good question. And what I'm showing you right now, I just did it this morning. So all this stuff was done this morning. And the reason I'm doing this is because right now I'm actually expecting a huge load on the server, and every article that you create, let's say you go back to blank, right? Like you type in one article, I say New York, I don't know, NYC plumber or something like that. It will make an article, and you click on create right here, and then you click on confirm, it'll go, except it'll take about, if there isn't much demand, it'll take about a minute. But when there are a whole bunch of people, like right now, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like 500 people asking for articles at the same time. That means it will take, maybe it'll have to kind of go through. It might take like 5-10 minutes or so. And during this call, I'm just loading up examples. But that is literally the process, just so to make this more entertaining, because no one wants to kind of like just wait for the article to be generated. But the reason we're doing that is because we go through such an in-depth process. Like, I don't think people understand how in-depth the process is when we create an article. Like, this is the New York plumber. It says 3,000 words, but internally we might have created 40,000 words. And I'm not even kidding. We might have done 50,000 words or even more to get down to this 3,000 words, because every piece is checked. We go through a whole bunch of data and we just keep the best of the best. And that's, in my opinion, why we have the best, some of the best articles right here. In fact, I don't even know if I'll show this after, but yeah, I'll show you after, but like I've been testing things, and okay, actually I'll show you right now, just so I don't forget. Look, this is, I don't even know if I should be showing this. This is the type of stuff that I'm like, should I post a replay or not? I don't even know if I should be showing this, but I tested it. Was it Tinder? Let me go here. Tinder account under review. It's a very in-demand term. And where is it? Okay, cool. Yes, we're right here. So right here, 7 days ago, I posted this. And this was literally copy pasted onto the site, right? Literally copy pasted. I told my team, don't change a single word, because I want to see how it does on a site. And the site is not powerful. It's been kind of like an abandoned site, but I created this article, and you could go see, you can see the article right here. Yeah, so this is the article. And by the way, I'm showing this, but this does not mean that you're automatically going to copy paste an article and then get rankings right away. This is not what I'm saying. I'm just showing you, things that I've done. But your results will vary. Depends on your website, depends on the article, depends on the term and so forth. I even did one, was it relationship hacks? And relationship hacks, once again, go see where, I think we're around. Yeah. Okay, cool. So here, relationship hack, which is in my opinion, a relatively decent term. I mean, and this was once another, like another copy paste. So I think if I'm just showing this, I'm maybe not painting the right picture. I don't want people just to think that, hey, you're just going to go copy pasting things and ranking. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just been testing to make sure that, how it looks. Does this article look good on my website? Does it seem to be like a decent article that someone wrote? I want to get a feel for it. The reason I build on page is for myself. I build it because I want to use it. So this is some of my tests that I'm showing you, that I don't even know if I should be showing you my test. But anyways, so I want to make it clear that your results will vary, but this is what I've been testing. So how am I getting intent? Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we're doing to get intent. And I spent about 2 weeks working on just that problem, getting the keyword intent, because the keyword intent, Matt, that's a great question. The keyword intent dictates everything. So in the Google helpful content update, they're talking about pages answering the purpose. So if the page basically answers the question is satisfies the user's purpose, then it is deemed to be helpful to the user. And that's why it was of the utmost importance to me that whenever you would type something, like if someone is typing in New York plumber, they are looking for a New York plumber. So here you can see the title is Find the Best New York Plumbers, Best Plumbers in New York City, Compare Reviews and Prices. That is why we're really focused on the intent. And that is kind of like the starting point, in my opinion, that dictates everything else. Someone says, hey, how does this compare to another service or continental scale? And you could go compare the outlines, go compare the content, and you will see. So that would be my answer. I do know about them. I make sure to know as much as I can about the industry. And I think you'll be very, 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 very pleasantly surprised, especially everything. I know you'll see more in just a second. How to get this? I'm going to talk about that in just a second. How optimized are these articles if you send them over to the editor? Oh yeah, okay. So I inadvertently answered that, I think, like a few seconds ago. That's a great question. Let me send this one. And this one, what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to run a report. And by the way, hopefully you saw I did it a bit quickly. If you don't have a report associated already, you can just click here. It'll do a scan for it, and it should, assuming there isn't any like tons of traffic and all that, it should give you a report, and it'll give you a score. Now, in my testing, these are not optimized to 100%. They're not fully optimized. So if you want to just rank as, if you're optimizing for ranking, then send it to the editor and then do a report and then improve on it and work and basically make it as good as you can. So there you go. So this is exactly what I'm showing, where we just took an article, we sent it to the editor, we ran a report, and now it tells us all the recommended terms that we could still add, all the recommended entities, the highly related words like toilet, faucet, bathtub, and all that. And this is the kind of like the next level where you just take it and start answering and adding it to your content and then sending it to the editor. So that hopefully that answers that. It will vary, but overall, in my opinion, they're decent. So okay, any types of plagiarism detected before final output? I not in the process. So that's another great question. But in my testing, in my personal testing, it's been very good. In my personal testing, has been awesome. So that's going to be I decided to get credits from Copyscape, and I've been testing all these things to make sure that the articles were good, and that is that. Yeah. So one Sheldon asked, I have a legacy account. I get the message that says I need to upgrade to the user stealth writer. I will cover that in just a second. Can I share a link? Okay, can you share a link with from all of us with an article so we could read it? If you log into on page at AI, and you're going to be able to see sample text, and you will be able to read an article. So we have an article there. You could also, I guess, load up the articles that I just showed you on the site. You type in like relationship hacks or whatever, or like on a Tinder account under review, and look up the site, and you'll see content there. Does this work only in English? That's a great question. And right now, I've actually tested inputting terms in French, but it spits out articles in English. So the writing itself will always be in English, but it is, so it's English only for now. All right, so how does this AI writer compare to other tools like Jasper's, also mostly detection? So this guarantees AI detection. In fact, if you produce an article, if this produces an article here that does not pass the AI detection here of 50% or more, it will scrap the article and rewrite it. So we've gone through a lot of work to make sure that happens. Also, the outline and just a search intent and just the type of article and the fact that you get it with one word. I don't think, honestly, I don't even think anyone, I don't know, but I don't think any people are doing that. So hopefully that answers that. Do the generated articles also include the highly rated words and recommended words? I think I just answered that. It includes a lot of them, but you can still go and optimize. Can the AI checker flag the content it does not like so we could edit it? That might be a feature that we're bringing in the future, but this will pass AI detection. Okay. Jason asked, this is a great. Am I worried that content might be detected by Google and downgraded? So that's a great question. And that was one of my main concerns coming into this was like, hey, how is Google going to react? Now, I want to make it very abundantly clear. I have no relationship with Google, and I cannot control and I cannot predict what they're going to do. And I assume sometimes I assume they can't even predict what they're going to do themselves, which is why what we know right now, I kind of, as I'm recording this, is that we know that AI content is ranking. Like, we know that even if this was 100% this completely fake, it is still ranking. It is still being indexed. I know people with sites that have full of just AI detected content that are doing just fine. In fact, it's in the news. So I know that that's happening right now, but I'm taking it to the next level. Like, I want to be extra safe. So I don't even want to, I'm not even going for content that is detected, even though that is currently ranking. I'm going for stuff that is undetected, at least using Roberta-based detector. So that's our own, that's the model that we're using inside OnPage. It's a Roberta-based detector. That's the same one they were talking about in the research paper. I don't know what's going to happen in many years, but I'm making it as, I'm basically making a, past our detection. So, they've already stated that they're going to be ranking AI content, or that it ranks, and now we're taking that to the next level. So that's why it's been very important to me that every single article that's produced here passes AI detection. By the way, I do want to make it abundantly clear, inside, when you're generating content right here in the Stealth AI writer, it is going to be like, when you generate an article, this is an article that is going to pass the AI detection. But if you just write something from scratch inside the content editor, like you just use AI right here, it is not going through the same process. And this could actually return AI detected content. This is just normal AI writing, like all the other services do. So that's why the Stealth writer has kind of its own twist on it, and it uses a lot more computational power, but we get some really good results. So let me just go share. We're getting a lot of questions. I want to hold up. We're still getting tons of questions. I'm going to just kind of dive in before we get too carried away here. So this is absolutely, in my opinion, it's a game changer. And this is where we get into the comparison. And I've seen this in the chat a few times, where if we compare the current costs right now, writing a blog post or getting freelancers written, I've spent over the past decade hundreds of thousands of dollars on content. And according to Google, the average word count is 12 cents, right? And I've seen low rates as low as 4 cents. But usually the usable content, like content that is decent, that I would want to use, starts at around 8 cents. And usually it's actually a bit higher. It's around the 12-cent mark. So I went to Fiverr. I looked at prices. I've had a few people talk to me about, I think it's been mentioned even in chat, a whole bunch of other things, services. Maybe we'll look at them live. In fact, let's go, just so you know, I'm not faking this. Let's go to Fiverr right now. So let me go to Fiverr right now. And if I type in article writing, in terms of the writers right here, I'm gonna go here, the writers, this is the one I was kind of like I had found. This one is one of the top rated ones. They currently have 181 reviews. And I can even load this one up if I want, just some article writings. And if I want articles that are 3,800 word long, and they don't even say they're going to pass the AI detection. A lot of these freelance writers are writing using assisted tools. So sometimes I've gone and I've paid hundreds of dollars for articles that have not passed AI detection. But if I were to just come in here and I put in 3,800 words, this is an article that would cost me, a writer, or if I was hiring a writer, $175 to write. And the thing is I don't like waiting. This usually takes about a week. And I don't even like ordering. Ordering sucks. I don't know if everyone's ever ordered an article, but I have to kind of give them an outline. I have to tell them what I want to write about. I have to give them an outline. I have to do the research for them sometimes. Then I have to pay them an arm and a leg. And then after that, after like 6 days, they give me a revision. Sometimes it's not even good, so I send it back. And in the worst case, sometimes the freelance writer will create something that is AI detected. Like I've paid a lot of money just to get content that I stuck at before. Here, if I look at this other freelance writer and I put it 3,800 words, $273 that they're charging. Now, I don't want to paint a misleading picture. If they're writing and they're spending the time, this is a different ballpark. This is a different thing that we're talking about. Like, this is an actual person writing content and spending a lot of time on it. So this is, I don't even think it's fair, but this is kind of like what I'm using. If I go back to my thing for guest posts, I need content for supporting content. I just need content, right? So I need good content and that, is engaging to my users, that is going to be not that passes AI detection. That's the type of stuff I want. And if I wanted to get it one of the traditional ways, this is quite a lot. So if I go back right around here and I was looking at the pricing, if I wanted 100 articles that are 3,800 words each, that would be $17,500, which is crazy. But if I wanted 1,000 articles, because I'm running an agency or I need to get just need more, using this person that we've seen right now, it would be $175,000. And this is not me making up bigger prices than they currently are. If that is the type of content I wanted from this writer, that's what they're currently charging, this is crazy. And that's why I actually, I work with agencies and that are spending large sums of money. And for the past years, I've been spending, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on writers. So this is why for me at least, this has been quite like a game changer. I don't know how else to say it. And I also don't like waiting 2 to 6 days. That's my biggest pet peeve. I don't like filling out the templates and how I gotta, the ordering process sucks. So that's why this is, in my opinion, going to be crazy. We have special plans. And by the way, every single plan, Stealth Writer plan, so I'm going to show you Stealth Writer plans right now, they include full on page. So, we talked about how Dan ranked the #1 site in the latest SEO competition. This includes the on-page scans. So on-page scans, it's $400 value, swipe AI content, the brief and outline tool, if you wanted to get an equivalent. There's a competitor selling something like that. They're selling it for $119. We got the content editor with full grammar, spell checker, AI writing, predictive guest posts, which I briefly shown at the beginning to get, and predictive link building, which is what we've been using to build links that are relevant. That's a $200 value right here. Link relevancy. I actually did a webinar, a few months ago on recovering from a penalty using this. Over optimization protection feature. The AI detection feature. This is actually hilarious because we're giving $200 worth of credits at no extra cost inside onpage.ai. And if some of the more popular, recently there's been really a lot of popular AI detection software, and they have been charging 20 cents for 2,000 words. And here we give at least 1,000 credits on the Stealth AI writer plans, and 1,000 credits ends up being $200. This number is not made up. I cannot emphasize this enough, that this is literally what people are charging right now. And if we were getting a Stealth writer, if you wanted, for instance, 100 articles, this is literally the price right now that they're charging for 100 articles if I want to get this writer to write it. And I don't even know the quality is going to come up. So that would actually be 19,367 if I were to get stuff. I sent as far as I could get, yeah. So that's absolutely crazy. And that's why we have crazy plans that start at $399 for a standard, $799, $999, $3,999, $6,099. And here you will be getting 10 articles for $399. So this basically includes the cost of on page plus the AI write articles. Here, the advanced gives you 50 articles. But and to create, which is, the create is what we're comparing, which was $19,000 if I were getting it elsewhere, is at $999, which ends up being $10 per article, which is absolutely crazy. Because if I had this and I was reselling the articles, I'm not saying we should be reselling articles. This is not the purpose out of this at all. But here, if it's a $10 article and you are reselling it, let's say you were reselling the article for dirt cheap. Let's say you were like lowballing everyone and you were selling an article at like $60 per article. Then hopefully you could see, I can pull out my calculator, how crazy of a value that would be. Let's say you had 100 articles and then you were reselling them at $60. And I'm not saying to do this, and I'm not making any claims that you're going to be able to sell them and all that. But let's say you were, and let's say hypothetically, you were just getting some of this content and this is what, this is where you would kind of go for it. It would be $6,000. And then this would pay for itself like 6 times, which is crazy. Now, once again, not making any claims you're going to be able to sell this stuff. It's not even designed for that. But if you're doing with the ultimate, it drops down to $7 per article, which, by the way, is not the price you're going to pay, because when we are launching, and these would be amazing prices, because all these things also include on page, which people are already paying $300, $400 for on page per month, right? Already. This includes that plus the article writing. But when we are launching a product, we always like to have a special. So right now we have about up to 50% off the price for the creation. So I think this is going to blow people's mind. I know a lot of people already have the SEO standard or the SEO advanced. If you have the SEO standard, you can log in right now and you could create up to 10 stealth articles. So the way it works, by the way, I didn't explain this, but the way it works, let me kind of go back to the on page. Every single article created here, because it uses special process, uses 10,000 AI credits. So 10,000 AI credits. And if you start modifying things, it'll use a bit more, but 10,000 AI credits per article. So if you have 100,000 credits, you could do 10 articles. So here, this plan includes up to 10 stealth articles, and people already have this. So yesterday you weren't able to do this, and now just as included into your membership, or like a plan, you could get up to 10 articles. If you have the advanced, and I know a whole bunch of agencies already have the advanced, you get up to 50 articles. And I personally think the AI Create 100 is going to be by far the most popular plan, probably, because you create up to 100 articles. How crazy is that? 100 articles, it ends up being $5 per article with this plan. Plus, you get all of on-page. So if I was just selling on-page, this would be an amazing plan just for on-page. Never mind any of the AI writing. This would be absolutely crazy. And this would be the on-page scan, which helps optimize pages every single day, predictive guest posts, a brief and outline, the AI detection, all this adds up to a lot more value in that. But when we add in 100 stealth articles, that's absolutely crazy. If I were to just kind of go, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. We're underselling, basically underpricing it. I know a lot of people have asked me for 500 and 1,000 plans. And if you're running an agency, then this might be really important for you. So if you're running an agency and you have a whole bunch of clients and you're like, hey, I want 500 articles a month, there you go. I've actually had a few requests for 1,000 articles. So if you want 1,000 articles a month and you want to go ham, this is for you. And this is the craziest, thing, value here. So this is not meant to be resold, by the way. This ends up being $3.50 per article, which is absolutely crazy, not even counting the price of on-page. And this is not meant to be resold. But let's say you had 1,000 articles. Let me just pull out the calculator. 1,000 articles, you do 1,000 times whatever you're going to be selling that article for. This is not a fair comparison because this is apparently a real writer, but let's say I was selling it for 175. This is it's not the same thing, but this is absolutely crazy in terms of the what I would have previously done if I was building out a whole bunch of sites. If I'm building out my sites, I'm building a whole bunch of topical content, supporting content, and so forth, and I just need a whole bunch of guest posts and so forth, and I'm trying to get some decent content, then I'm spending a lot of money. Now, this obviously pays for itself. There's probably going to be people just saying, hey, this is what you could do, and just use this content. I was playing around. I was making a graph that looked ridiculous. And I was like, look, this is the stealth writer and this is the freelance writer at the dirt cheap price of 0.4 cents a word. And it ends up being bonkers. It doesn't make sense. And you get the access to the whole on-page suite at no extra cost. So the way you, by the way, and one thing I do want to mention is that you could switch plans at any time. So let's say you start off the first month, you're like, hey, I want 1,000. You take the AI Ultimate, you're cool. And then next month, you're like, oh, well, I don't need as many. You could switch at any time to a different plan. So you could switch back to the Create 100. However, you are locking in your rate whenever you do get it. So when the price, let's say you lock in the Create 100 and the price is increased to $9.99, then you will retain the price of $4.99. You will retain your discount. You will retain the lower price. So we always have introductory offers whenever we launch things, and then typically the prices will go up. So whatever price change there are, you could lock in your rate. So if you decide to get whatever, you could lock it in. So that's why I think this is kind of like a giant opportunity for a whole bunch of people, because you could lock in a rate, and just the equivalent of getting 100 articles previously was absolutely crazy. So the way you sign up And if you're not already, I know a whole bunch of people here already use OnPage. You might want to just go in and switch plans if you want. But if you just use OnPage right now, or you haven't, like, let me just show you the process. It's really simple. If you haven't, go onpage.ai, and then you go sign up right here, and you register your email. You just put in whatever you put your email in, and then you're going to get an email. You click on activate. And then once you log in, it's going to look like this. You log in, it's going to look like this. You click on the big button right here. It says activate your plan. And then you could choose one of the plans. So you got all create right around here, publisher, AI Ultimate. And if you want one of the lower plans like standard and advanced, they're over here. The SEO Lite does not include the writer. So if you have the SEO Lite, you need to at least be on the standard or the advanced. It's just not feasible with the SEO Lite. So standard or the advanced is going to be the SEI writer. I think most people are going to be in this area. If you do any serious SEO, you're probably going to be using this and then some. And I've had a few requests. I've actually had a request for even more, but for now we're limiting it to 1,000 at the high end, because I want everyone to be able to use this. I want everyone to be able to access this. And we've already kind of increased our servers, and even then, I know there's gonna be a huge load. So this is kind of, for now, we're going to be buffing up and improving the servers and everything as we go, just so it goes faster and faster and faster as time progresses. But now the opportunity is now. If ever you've been on the fence for OnPage and you're not even an OnPage member, this is the absolute best time ever to kind of join OnPage. And in my opinion, it should be kind of a game changer. Let me go into a few questions. I'm sure a few questions have coming in. All right, cool. Oh yeah, Jenna asked, will this ever give two people the exact same article for the same keyword? And the answer is no. So we've tested this quite extensively, typing in the same exact keyword, and it gives entirely different articles. Even the outline is different. But look, I want to be fair. And if we get 100 articles that are exactly the same, after 100 articles, they start to look similar, right? After 100, but 2 articles back to back, they are usually completely different. 3 articles, they're different, and all the articles are different. So that is, hopefully that answers that. Stephen asked, would this be available in other languages than English? Not right now. It's only English. It was a lot of work to get this working this well in English. When creating content in mass, how many articles would I submit for indexing at one time? It's a great question, Tom. And honestly, I don't want to give a specific answer to that. It depends usually on your site. If you ever have a brand new site, I typically go a bit slower. But once again, I want to emphasize the fact that, let me load up another thing, because we're looking at New York Plumber. I think this is gonna, let's hear this. This is a run I did on for dating, right? All these cool, like how what are core values, conversation starters, how to talk to girls, things to do with friends. So we have a whole bunch of stuff here. When creating content in mass, how many articles to submit at a time? I recommend people kind of go and start modifying the content. And when you're really happy with the content, you're like, okay, this is a really good article. Then I don't see a reason to just slow down. Post all the really good, helpful content you can. But once again, this is not, everyone takes care of your own website, and you do everything. You're responsible for everything you do on your own website. Oh, there is one thing I want to mention. By the way, in terms of the types of content you can create, it is here in kind of our disclaimer. The only stuff you create like a whole bunch of content, but because of the AI community guidelines, AI prohibits things like payday loans, illegal substances, hate stuff, adult stuff, gambling, even, in order to kind of protect the AI and AI ethics and so forth. So you can't ask it to do something dangerous for you. It won't want to do something dangerous. So I do want to make that clear. I've used it for a ton of weird terms. In fact, let me show you the weirdest term I did. This was a challenge from Dan, and he's like, do SEO for dolphins focused on Amazon products. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, let's try to fool it, see how it goes. And it created this ridiculously amazing article, SEO for dolphins, how to optimize your Amazon products for maximum visibility. So what it did is it basically created an article on how to optimize for dolphin products on Amazon. So we tried to fool it, and it came out with this really good article on how to do it. It basically succeeded in tricking, not tricking me, but like it wrote an article on how to promote Amazon products that are about dolphins and using SEO to put it. Anyways, it was amazing. So let me kind of go over more things. Is there any way to add items to the outline that you think you should be in? Okay, cool. That's a great question. And because we use a special process here, we only charge 10,000 credits per article. You can't add any content here. You can't add. You could modify. So you could modify, tailor to your desire. If let's say you wanted to remove stuff, we actually have options. I didn't even share this, but you could skip the intro, skip the FAQ, skip the takeaway. So if you want shorter articles, you could just do skip here. It'll be even faster. But if you want to add stuff, then you would send that to the editor, and then you just keep on writing. And this is how you would add stuff to an article. You would just start, adding it here manually. But in terms of Stealth AI, this is how it kind of comes out. And it comes out like this because we wanted to cover the whole subject. So you're not going to get 800-word articles in this, because we always try to cover the content, create it as helpful as possible. So it is very hard to create helpful content with like 600, 800 words. That's why a lot of these, if I'm going down, there's like 3,700 words and so forth. And yeah, kind of hopefully that answers the question. Now, how up to date is AI learning? If I have a client in the industry that came out last year, will it be able to write content in that? So that's a great question. And the AI knowledge, we're pulling from a whole bunch of places. So we're using search landscape info, we're using different AI models, and it varies. I suppose that's the answer. It knows a whole bunch of stuff up to 2021, and we've actually modified it. So if you ask, we're inputting even more content. So if you ask like an article, and you might get stuff that talks about 2023. But one limitation, I do want to make sure, let me talk about limitations here. One limitation is it will not crawl the web. So if you say, hey, let's list me the top 10 Amazon products in 2024 that are drones or whatever, it won't go and crawl Amazon and pull out the content from there. So that for that type of stuff, like here, list specific products, you're going to need to go and get a real writer that kind of goes and does the research. This works amazingly well for informational topics and so forth. But if you need to go in, there's still places where you're going to need a real writer. Okay. Can I add? Okay. Can I limit the number of keywords? Okay. So I'm not quite sure if I understand, but here you can put one word. If you just want to generate one word at a time, you put in one word right here, you click create, and it'll say, hey, let's just go. But if you want to put many, then you can. Hopefully that answers that. Will I be able to upgrade? Aaron asked, will I be able to upgrade at a later stage at the same price? No. I don't know how else to say. Kind of, but no. The price is like right now, these are the intro prices. So this, by the way, let me just go here. I can go see it. Account. Cool. So these are the intro prices. These are, look, this is ridiculous. In my opinion, this is absolutely $4 per article, plus it includes all of on page. I strongly believe that this is, first of all, I think it's disruptive. I think a whole bunch of people are not going to be happy with the fact that we're producing this. And I do believe that like we're just selling on page already. That's kind of included, or even here $40.99. People are already paying this just for on page. Plus here you can get 100 words. So this is the best time to lock in a price. If like in the future, I don't know. I don't ever comment on what it's going to be, but like things could vary quite a lot. And when we put it to the regular price, then you won't be able to get it. So I don't know. This is the best time to lock in your price. That's all I'm going to say. When does you download the article? Andrew asked, does it come with the outline too? No. When you download the articles, if I were to open one of the articles, like here, I'll just open up affiliate marketing here in Word. It just gives you the document. So this is the specially formatted Word document that it gives you. And actually, we did a lot of work on this Word document when you download all the articles, so that if I want to just add a post right here, it's copy pastes it, and it doesn't have all that Word crap that you typically get. So if I go into visual, it won't have pasted as, it'll just have very clean text. So I made, I'm an SEO at heart, and I've been doing SEO for over a decade, and I know that the workflow is super important. So when you're downloading an article and you're just using it in your team, or either you're doing a share link, I want stuff to be clean. I want it to be easy and quick to use. And also I want there to be next to no learning curve. So you could automatically kind of just jump in and start using this right away. Cool. So, okay, Paul, if it's not stealth related, I cannot answer it now. Okay. What happens if you've just been charged for non? Okay, cool. Yeah, this is great. If you have an account, Dietrich, I'm not mispronouncing your name, but it's a great question. It asks if I was just renewed for one of the plans and I want to switch. You can switch at any time. It credits whatever plan you had, and it will automatically kind of adjust it. So if you've already had the SEO Lite and you're 3 days in and you quick switch to SEO Advanced or Standard or Advanced or the Create, it'll account for the 2 days or 3 days that you used for this, and then it'll just credit you and kind of adjust it at length. So you don't lose anything. So this is why it's important. You could kind of switch back and forth and you'll be good there. Okay. Can the outline be edited before the article writes? No. The outline, if I go back to the Stealth AI writer, the outline, we do so much work. Like this, probably half the time is spent creating this outline because it's so important. So a lot of work that goes into creating this outline, and you get the outline once the article is produced. But then you could kind of go in and say, hey, I just want to change this part. I want this to be a conclusion or so. If I click conclusion here, it's just going to go in. And in real time, hopefully you see how cool this is. It is rewriting this and it is entering a conclusion right here. Is there a way to make the article persuasive in nature if I want to make people call my plumbing business? That is a great question. And we are working, actually, I'm working internally on trying to take it to the next level even after this. So many people don't know this, but I am obsessed with making things as good as possible. And as we go, I'm always improving the stuff in the back end, even if I don't talk about it. So I actually expect this is a year's work. This is where we're at right now. And I expect in another year, it's going to be even crazier. But like right now, this is absolutely crazy. If you ever want to make calls to your own business, like you say, get a plumber article and you're like, hey, you need to send it to the editor and then start editing and adding your own plumber's things. However, actually, this is actually hilarious. Let me show you this right now. I actually tested this the other day. So let me load up New York Plumber right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go maintain, instead of this, I'm going to rewrite it. So call Mr. Eric's plumbing business. Cool. I'm going to write this. And it should auto-generate. I'm doing this live, so I'm putting it all on the sake. But it just should create a section where it says to call Eric's plumbing business. There you go. Cool. So when it comes to choosing a reliable New York plumber, consider the award-winning services of Mr. Eric's plumbing business. And it basically gives me kind of a sales pitch right here for Mr. Eric's plumbing business. So hopefully you can see how cool this is. Now, obviously, this is been auto-generated, right? But it is still very, very cool. So hopefully you see that. Does every single plan, so all these stealth AI, they ask does every single plan include predictive link building, predictive guest posts, and so forth? Yeah, if you go into the plans, all the stealth writer plans include full on page. So you get all of on page and you get everything. The only one that does not include it is SEO Lite. So if you're on SEO Lite right now, probably want to upgrade. And this is only for on-page scans. So as you know, we have tons of people using this right now, and it is giving great results. This is the on-page Lite is going to be the one that does not have it, but every other one has all the features. This is if you just want to use on-page scans to optimize your website, and we don't want to take any of that away. But yeah. So another question is, do the credits expire every single month? Is there any rollover? Yes, the credits expire every single month. And kind of go back into Stealth Writer. Yeah, credits expire every single month. So if you are using or you're trying to get any credits, then yeah, you need to use them every single month. But that's why we're giving more than what most people need. And you could just go in and kind of get that. So hopefully that is kind of clear. Let me make sure I didn't disconnect right now. Oh boy, I think we are getting hammered, or I'm lagging out. Let me make sure and see if I'm lagging out or if we're getting hammered. Okay, cool. So I could tell right now that our server is getting hammered just as I'm answering these questions. If the server is a bit slower, it is because a ton of people are jumping on the deals right now. This is kind of to be expected, but yeah, this is absolutely crazy. We have a packed house here, and yeah, so this is go. So if anyone wants, it's on dashpage.ai. Okay. The credits do not roll over. Okay. Can you put a limit on the number of words for each article? This is, oh yeah, I will answer that in just a second. So limit on each. If you want shorter articles, what I typically will do is I will go in the options and I will do skip FAQ, skip takeaway, skip quick answer. And I don't think the articles are as good. Like the reason I'm putting all this stuff is I think this makes really good articles. But if you do this, yeah, the articles will be shorter. We've been able to create articles that are like 2,000 words, like or so in that ballpark, but not much lower because to be between you and me, when you get smaller articles, you're not covering the whole subject. They're not as helpful. They're not as good content. And it's very easy. If ever you get this, like, let's say you're like, okay, I want my content to be shorter. Come in. You know how easy it is to just take a piece of content, play a piece of block in the editor and just delete it? There you go. Your article is just shorter right now. It's so easy, but it's a lot harder to create content. So anyone that wants shorter content, just go in and trim it up. So that is going to be, and a whole bunch of people saying, I just want shorter, like I want a 1,200 word article. You could go in like, exactly. You could go and tweak it. And what I would do is options. I would just check all of this and it'll make the shortest articles possible. And if you want it to be shorter, you do that. But between you and I, more content is usually better. More content usually means that you're covering more topics, means that you could potentially rank for more things. This more content ends up being, in most cases, more content ends up being better. So that is what I'm going to say. Thanks. Okay, cool. How long will the deals? Does it save my articles? Yes, everything's saved. How long do the deals last? The prices, they're not determined. I don't know how long it's to last. So this is we change. Usually, yeah. So this is an introductory offer. I don't have a special limited time, but I just change it without any notice. So whenever we introduce new features or after a while, or when expenses go up or something happens, we change the price. And it did just, these are the promotional prices. The prices for your articles are like rock bottom. This is like when we do intro promotions like this, people sometimes get left out and then try to ask for the old price and we can't give it to them. So when the prices go up, they go up and they cannot go back. So that's, if you're on the fence, this is now the time. Is the AI writers good at doing some very niche content, something like with a concrete sealer? Yes, it is very, very good at doing niche content. Surprisingly so. However, what I've found is if you're just asking it for a very simple actually, I did, how long to bake a carrot cake? And it gave me such a good article for that. So yeah. Okay, does it only support English language? Yes, it does. What is the deep scan feature? Oh my God, that's in the on page. Okay, cool. So yeah, let me go here. On page.ai. So this is if you're doing a normal scan, I will answer this. We also have options here. So yeah, cool. If you type in your words, so SEO checklist right here, and then you could go in the options for the agencies, we have this deep scan. And this deep scan inside the options right here will scan twice as many pages. So we go even deeper into the search engine landscape to fill out more stuff. So this is, yeah, this is kind of like a different, but are there any chances Canadian customers, what? No, prices are set. I'm from Canada. Prices, yeah, no, prices are worldwide. These are ridiculous. These are absolutely ridiculous prices. And is there a link for the new offer? If you log into onpage.ai right now, and you just go, like you go to on-page.ai, and you go and you log in, and you go into your account, and you get all the prices right here into account. You get all the plans right here. So these are all the discounted plans, and you can even quickly take a yearly one if you want it. So I think I'm answered a whole bunch of questions. I'm going to just jump in. My God. Okay, cool. Answered a ton of questions, and go into chat. Cool. All right. Now, okay, so we have questions in the chat. So oh my God. Hopefully, people have been answering questions here too. But if I registered for the $2.99, I don't want to switch in 3 days for the $3.99, I recommend you do it right now. Honestly, you can, but it's much easier to just get a whole bunch of stuff. And Brian says he's been using it. Oh my God, yes, that's crazy. Thank you, Brian. From Pro Plan, you can't get to the 3 highest packages through account. If you are not seeing it, I recommend, if someone is logged in and you can't see the new plans and new prices, log out, log back in, and clear your cache. Because sometimes what happens is we do a special update. And when we do an update, sometimes you're going to get the old cache or the old prices and so forth. And yeah, so that will be, if you can't see this right now, then log out, log back in, clear your browser cache, and you should be able to see these plans. And if ever you can't, please contact our team at onpage.ai, and we're going to be happy to help you. By the way, actually, I do want to mention one thing. This is very important. Please share this. I did not mention this, but please share this if you believe it's useful or if you like it, because we've been relying, we don't have an affiliate program. We've been relying entirely on word of mouth to essentially tell people about OnPage and just kind of grow OnPage and just share the good stuff in OnPage. We do not have big margins, and we do not have an affiliate plan. And the reason we don't have an affiliate plan is because when you, with these prices, when you create something, we are spending so much money on the production of this article. Like this article, it's not generated for free on our end. We spend a lot of money, and we like I was saying, just to create this article, we might do like 30,000 words or 40,000 words. We do search engine landscape. We use multiple AIs. We use all the resources we possibly can, even if it costs a ton of money, in order to produce this quality. And then when we kind of give this out at like $5 an article or whatnot, or even down to $3.50, there's no room. There's literally no room for margins or anything like that, which is why there's no plan. There's no affiliate plans or anything like that. You're just getting as as on-page members, or you're getting the absolute best price. And that's the way we've been operating. That's kind of been my philosophy. Just give them the most. Even when we're doing on-page scans, we're using so much computational power, and we're basically using Google's NLP, which is very expensive, just to do on-page scans. When we're doing predictive link building, we're using Google categorization. We're spending all the money on you, spending all the money inside to give you the absolute best results, which means we have very, 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 very little margins. We're basically spending everything to give the highest quality, which is why we rely on people just sharing it. So if you enjoy this, or you think, you're getting value out of this, then please share it. We can't afford to give an affiliate program. We just literally just don't have the margins, which is why it's like, okay, please, if you think it's useful, we've been relying on word of mouth. We've had amazing people in our community. And I always make sure to reach out. If you go and you mention it on social media, tag me or just let me know. I will go and personally thank you, and I will do everything I can to support you as well. Because that's how we've been doing. I've been making great friends along the way. Just people recommending it to their audience, or just people sharing this and saying how crazy. Like this, in my opinion, is this should be kind of a game changer right now to be able to do this. Like, look at this. It's crazy. This is my thing here. I like scrolling down where I'm like, look at this, the amount of content. It's crazy. Anyways, so I don't want to to basically do anything. This is still AI content. It is not going to kill writers, but it is, at least for me, extremely, extremely useful. So cool. So let me kind of go and make sure I'm getting the messages. We're still getting a whole bunch of people. We're going to be wrapping up right now soon, but let me just answer a few more questions that might be coming in. Okay, there you go. So yes, you could share anything with your VA. So this is why we have the coolest share screens ever. You just copy this, and then your VA doesn't even need to be logged in. Let me just go here. Your VA doesn't need to be logged in, and he just gets this. He could literally copy paste this into WordPress, and he could just, let's say this is nothing here. Your VA could come in, copy, paste into WordPress, and you're good to go. So I made it as easy as humanly possible. And for the people that stayed, okay, what's the support email for email? Okay, let me actually type this. So team@onpage.ai. So right now in the chat, it is team-at-onpage.ai. I'm going to even go show you here. If anyone needs to contact support, at the bottom of our homepage, we're going to have the email. So this right here. So here at the bottom of our homepage, we have our email right here. If ever you need to contact us, this is it. But if ever you can't upgrade for whatever reason, or you're just running into anything, I recommend logging in, logging out. That usually will resolve things, or clear cache or something, or I don't know, but it's possible. And we're going to be here, obviously, day in, day out. This is what I do basically, day in, day out, making sure everyone is getting hooked up. Right now, I'm sure people are doing a ton of articles, and as the server, like as the articles kind of go, we tested up to hundreds simultaneous users at once. We have a lot more than that right now on the call, but as people get through, like if someone starts requesting like 100 articles and a whole bunch of people request 100 articles, is going to create articles. And what you could do is you could even browse around and you can come back and they'll be in your history. So that is going to be it. Let's kind of go through. Actually, I have one more secret thing that I want to share for the people that stayed all the way to the end. So let me make sure I got all the questions first, and I'm going to share a secret thing. Okay, cool. So let me go here. Oh my God. Can I do more than 1,000 articles? For now, that's a great question. For now, we're limiting it to 1,000 articles because I want to let people, I want to give as many people access to it as possible. And I don't want to oversell something that we can. So we've tested our rates, we've upgraded our servers and everything. And in the future, yes, we will probably have plans to go over 1,000. But for now, I want everyone to be able, that wants an article, to be able to get an article. So that's, I feel like Taylor Swift that wants to give like concert tickets to everyone, where I want to make sure everyone can get it. So 1,000 is going to be the max right now. Do we have any training videos? Yes, we have training videos on the website. If ever you go to onpage.ai, we on the homepage, you get live training. So if you go live training right here, you get all our previous trainings like this. And also in the help section, let me kind of go help section, you get videos on everything. So if, let's say you're getting started with your first scan, I made sure to include training on absolutely everything. So your brief and outline tool, you're going to get here, on-page overview. You get a video here, me explaining the best practices of the on-page tool, how to use it. And then you go number 2, 3, 4, everything here. And these are videos that I've made that I stand behind. So, okay, Ian says, what's the email for support for upgrading? I don't see the upgrading option either. I'm gonna look into that. I want to make sure that people can see the upgrade option. But if you can't, I will go and make sure that you can see the email to the option to upgrade. I can see it right now. It is there, and we will make sure that you could upgrade to whichever when you go into account. All right. Okay, found it was cache. Okay, good. I'm glad. Yeah, sometimes it'll be the cache, because what we did is, anyways, yeah, you just got to clear your cache. Can we log out of the AI writer while it writes the content, or do I need to remain logged in? Yes, you can. Once a job starts, let's say you start an article in the AI writer. Once a job starts, it is started. You don't need to stay there. It'll be in your history when you come back. So in your history, you're gonna get your Stealth AI writer. You get all your articles that you wrote in the Stealth AI writer, and it will be here after X amount of time, right? So you don't need to watch it or baby it or anything like that. Okay. Now, do I recommend these articles only for tier 2 or guest posts, or not for the main website? I am not going to answer that specifically. I'm going to say everyone is responsible for whatever they do with the content. I personally have different risk tolerances than other people. I do different things. I'm just going to say that this content, in my opinion, is quite good. I've tested it on my own sites, but I'm not telling anyone to do anything with the content. Like, you do whatever you want with the content. I'm just, providing it as good as possible, and we're making sure it passes AI detection, which is kind of a big thing for me. All right, cool. So what model do we use? We actually use a combination of models. We use a whole bunch of technology that kind of goes into it. So that's what I'm going to say. How many credits does it take to rewrite a section? When you are rewriting a section, you're using individual AI credits. So that is going to be a lot less. But the base article, because we're using a whole bunch of processes, is going to be 10,000. This Sheldon says, damn, I just reused AI writer. It's super impressive, on topic. Even the language industry is amazing. Oh, thank you, Eric. I just created my first article. It's awesome. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Sheldon. That's awesome. I'm glad that people are yeah, thank you. And it's optimized 88 on quick score again. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I really, I'm getting live feedback from people using it right now. This is awesome. So the last secret. No, okay, last secret. Okay, this is the last secret. And I'm going to close with this. But I recently started doing this because right now I have the power of like, I have just so much power, right? You can create tons of content. And I'm like, okay, well, now I need keywords. So what I've been doing is I've been going to competitor websites using Ahrefs. So and I've been competitor websites and I've been looking up what they're ranking, and I'm using that. So here I'm going to type in Bob Villa. I just as an example. I hope he's not watching. It's a home improvement type of thing. And then what I do, I go here, I type in their top, and I go to top pages. So now I'm going to top pages right here, right? So I'm going to see all their top pages. I see all their top keywords right around here. And I'm like, oh, this is like a gold mine. Like it's like I'm like an SEO at a candy shop. I'm like, woo, I could write about all of this now. And I don't have any of these articles for this words. Now I'm like, all right, cool. So I click on export. I export this, and it will basically kind of go in. And now I can open this file up. And now I have it, I have it here. And I've been going, and I'm like, all right, cool. This is me, having fun internally here. And I'm just like, oh, cool. Keywords. Yay. Top keywords. And I take this, and I've been putting it back. Let me go clear. And I've been putting this into and obviously I kind of go in a filter, and I make sure the keywords, I actually want these keywords, right? So I don't full copy paste. But now I'm like, ooh, let me go see what keywords my competitors are ranking for and what keywords they have. And I'm just getting inspired over and over and over again. That's been my dirty little secret as kind of SEO and an affiliate. I'm just getting a ton of really good stuff right here. And now and I just click create, and I just confirm it'll go. And now previously, this would have been, if I was doing this and I was using a service, oh my God, if someone name a service or a writing service, go see how much this would have cost to get this done, right? So just how many words do I have here? Like 40 or 30 or 40, exactly. I took exactly 40 words, right? 40. How much would have this cost, and how much time would have taken to get this article in the past, right? Like I'll let you do the calculations. And now you could get it for like $4.99, $3.99, up to 50 articles. I'm personally set with the 1,000 article one. This is my jam. So this is why I think it's absolutely crazy. Hopefully, yeah. So there's a whole bunch of keyword tools. There you go. Yes. So there's a whole bunch of keyword tools. I'm just showing you my current process where I'm just like looking up keywords really quickly. But hopefully, that's what it would usually cost. Previously, and now you could get it for much cheaper, depending on the service or whatnot that you would have been using. Or if I don't know, has anyone ever been here? Like, has anyone old school been here like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 13 years ago, where you would spend hours and hours writing a single article at night? Like you want to run a test, and you spent like 6 hours writing an article, and then you're like until late at night, and you're posting it, and then, oh my God, it's so tedious. And so that's why these days I outsource. But even then, outsourcing is expensive. And if I would have had, I would have cried like 10 years ago if I would have had something like this, of just the sheer joy of being able to produce this much content. Like it would have, been absolutely life-changing to just be able to produce all this content all at once, and just for testing, even just for testing. Like, my God, it's like you want to run a test. You're like, oh, I wonder how it's going to react. I want to do a whole guest post and whatnot. And you're like, I just need 10 articles. Well, just like, what was it? Like last year for 10 articles, I would have had to outsource. I would have had to get writers. I would have had to just pay a whole bunch of money. And by the way, yeah, Brian mentions, even after doing that, the freelance writers still sometimes don't even produce good content. Sometimes the freelance writers, especially the cheap ones, I'm sure everyone here has had an experience with a cheap freelance writer that produces stuff that you had to send back like 3-4 revisions. And even after the third revisions, you're like, man, I still don't want to post this. Like, it's still bad. It's still spun, or it's still like, there's still issues. That's why this has been blowing my mind. Okay, cool. So thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to wrap it up. We've gone longer than I wanted to. or expected, but hopefully everyone, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this. We're going to be here. And if once again, I'm going to close off by saying this is the best time to ever purchase this. If ever you're thinking getting on board, you could lock in your rate. And this is the introductory rate as we introduce this new feature, which is, this is our big things. I wanted to also kind of just share my personal ranking strategy. And by the way, this, your results will vary. You're responsible for all your content, your results will vary and so forth. But I just wanted, share as much as I can. And this was a cool discovery too, in terms of like, hey, this is a research paper from Google. I thought this was interesting. And I will close off by just thanking you. And please share this if ever you find this useful, you think it's good. We rely on you essentially, and I really appreciate it to kind of spread the word. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time, and I will see you on the inside. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, John, Steve, Greg, everyone. And if you guys have any questions, I'm always available. And we're working to make sure that it is going to be as powerful as possible. And also, last little thing is, I'm sure a whole bunch of people are like queuing it right now, and we're making sure that it goes as quickly as possible. Yeah, so everything should be good. All right, cool, man. So thank you very much. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.